On my wrist today, I have a watch that is pretty big significance to me in my watch collection, and it had a big impact in my journey. Now, I want to do this video in one take. You may see a lot of edits as far as cuts go because I want to embody the true feeling that I have here, and I don't want this to be misconstrued as me trying to push people into doing something they don't want to do. The point of this video today is to encourage those who are dancing with the idea, or maybe they feel like they can't get something achieved when it comes to building your own watch. But the watch I have here today is actually a custom build that I did originally from Do It Yourself Watch Club, where I got all the parts from to put this watch together. They included all of the tools necessary. They included all of the materials and everything else. And I actually decided to go with a bronze watch because I was ready to have a different material outside of having a stainless steel case. And I really wanted to have a watch that's going to patina. I like the fact that the bronze watch is patina over time. Of course, it's a diver because I was captivated by divers at the time. That was the bulk of my collection and what I wanted to add into it. But I decided to go ahead and make the decision investing my money into building my own watch because I wanted to see what it meant and what goes into it. It was more of an experimental thing to see also if I would enjoy it and I would like it. And it was a big catalyst for me as far as giving me more inspiration and more enthusiasm for watches. And it was a precursor foreshadowing the fact of why I appreciate independent brands as is, because a lot of them are doing pretty much the same thing, right? They're buying existing movements, they're making their own designs, and they're putting it into the watch from what they're creating over time and pouring their passions into it. And that was the easiest way for me to be able to do it without having to spend too much money. But it actually led to bigger and better things. When I first built the watch, I was very novice as far as handling tools, handling the movements, or rather the hands. I specifically remember the first version that I had from it. I was using metal tweezers on the hands as far as holding it, and they got a lot of scratches on it. And then I explored the fact that I could customize a dial down the road. So there's different versions of it, and I actually have a clip of a video, short video that I made of the watch that I'll put up on screen for you guys to see, where I first completed the watch and it didn't have its patina yet. It actually looked absolutely marvelous, but I didn't expect, or I didn't want it to stay that way. I actually rather enjoy having a watch patina over time and knowing that it patinaed with me as far as using it and putting it on wrist and exposing it to the elements. So that was really enjoyable for me to do. Plus the fact that you can restore a bronze watch if you really want to, if you use the right chemicals. I think if you use lemon water and everything else, that'll actually take the patina out of the watch and restore it back. But I'm not looking to do that because I want the watch to patina as much as it can over time naturally. There are some things as far as moving parts around like the crown and the bezel, because while it's patinaing, you have to pay mind to that so the parts don't actually stick. But I was really happy with the end result when I first completed the mod. And to be quite honest with you guys, I purchased a dial outside of what I received from them because I wanted a specific colorway. It was more of a sunburst dial, and it was a Seiko branded dial as is. But later down the road and soon after, I was exposed to realizing that I could customize the logo and make it my own, which is where I kind of put my own branding in it. And I chose to use my last name. And you don't have to go that route. You can choose whatever logo you want at the end of the day to customize the dial, but it evolved over time. I completed the watch, I wore it for a while. As my skills got better in modding and modding other watches with dials that were custom and handling the hands and the different parts, I actually got a lot better, and I went into the watch multiple times. And today is pretty much almost the 2-year anniversary. When I first completed it, it was June 6, 2022. 2 years later, at 24, this is, I believe today's June 21st. So it's almost the 2-year anniversary exact. And I'm really, really happy with the watch in its completed form. And that's because I took my time. I really enjoyed the process. I really found that customizing watches was for me. And I want to share this experience with you guys because I by no means thought that I would be able to do so as far as putting a watch together when I first did it. I was just brave enough to take that little bit of leap, and sure enough, it's not as hard as you think. The more patience you put into it, the easier it's going to be. It is not something that's a sprint, it's a marathon. Sometimes you have to put down the watch for a while if you're building it up. Normally, it takes people about an hour to an hour and a half to do it for their first time. But if you really want to take your time and you feel yourself getting frustrated, I would recommend taking a break from it completely, especially when you're doing the second hands. But it was a great experience, and I'm glad I took that route because it made things a little bit more simplistic as far as getting the kit all together with all the tools that I need. There are other ways. You could go to AliExpress, you can buy parts individually. A lot of them have builds and parts that surround the NH35 movement, so it's gonna be very accessible as far as finding everything that you need. And then Googling and doing a little bit of research, maybe even look at the watch kits to see what they include as far as tools go. And you can get the tools on AliExpress as well to save some money. But I was okay with going with a company that actually did it for me, knowing that they're probably putting a little more effort into the parts and everything else. But I have to be honest with you guys, even through AliExpress and doing other builds for family members and everything else, I've had only one bad situation, which was more of a manufacturing end than having, all of their models. It was a specific case that just didn't sit well with the crown and everything else. But outside of that, I've made upwards of maybe 30 watches at this point, 40 watches. I've done so many different customizations, primarily all from AliExpress. And I had no issues with it whatsoever. And the people that I've given the watches to were watch collectors as well, and they confirmed that the quality of the watch was there. So I want to advocate both sides of that as far as it goes. I'm not pushing an agenda on here. This video is not sponsored. I would love to get sponsored by a company that sells watch kits, so like that I can create a content video for you guys to see how it looks from beginning to end at the end of the day. And of course, I'm gonna give a little bit more insight and detail because I'm a little bit more experienced. I'm by no means of a watchmaker caliber, but I do have experience in building so many watches for other people and having a good quality watch built at the end of the day. So very, very confident as far as if I was to be sponsored and get a kit rather altogether and do a mod for you guys, I'd be able to give you the heads up as far as what to look for when you're putting it together. So if anybody's out there watching as far as that goes and you have a kit and you want to be sponsored, contact me and let me know. But going back to the watch, guys, it's been a journey, and it's been a very positive journey as far as it goes. And I just wanted to create this video to showcase that and show you guys what this watch ended up looking like after going through those different phases throughout the years, right? I didn't do all of this within a 3-month span. I actually created this watch and I actually built it over time throughout the 2 years. And I just recently completed it where I feel very comfortable as far as its end product goes and what I liked as far as stylistic ways go on the hands and on the dial itself. So that is something that I will show you guys. I'll show you a clip of some, close-ups on it, and you guys let me know what you guys think about the finishing product of it. But at the end of the day, guys, if you are looking to get into modding, you could always contact me and ask me any questions that you may have. I'm up on Watch Crunch. Mr. Santana is the tag name on there. So if you have any questions as far as it goes, I'm more than happy to help out. This is what it's all about. I'm learning from you guys. You guys are in turn going to learn from me, and we grow together. Now, to complement the watch, of course, you get into straps, right? Once you have a certain amount of watches, you're going to want to start collecting straps. And for me, I feel like there comes a point in time where you're changing out straps and you're putting different kinds of styles on it or different kinds of qualities. And as you mature and decide what really goes to your style rather than just putting whatever on it in the beginning, I found 2 straps that are pretty much married to the watch at this point, right? And I like to have at least 2 to 3 straps per watch. This way it gives it kind of like a refresher. It makes the watch feel like it's almost brand new. And the first one is the one that I actually have on wrist today, which is from the Anachronist shop. It's the Zero Pass strap, and it was created by Max. And this strap is absolutely phenomenal for it because it doesn't add any material underneath it like a NATO strap would. And it gives you that tactical type of feel. And what really drew me to it is it keeps the focus on the watch being primarily black, but then also having that tan stripe in between it, giving it that colorway that it was from its original color. So it's kind of like a kickback to the idea from when the watch began before it patinaed. But the second strap that I have for it is actually a nylon strap from Vario. And I recently acquired that. I was sponsored to do a video by them. That watch was an absolute home run. Being that it had brass buckles on it to match the bronze casing is absolutely phenomenal, and it's a home run. So those two straps are gonna be married to it. Now, you can't do a bronze bracelet on it because of the patina effect. I know that there are some out there, and I don't really understand how they function as far as that goes over time, and I can't speak on that particularly, but I'm okay with the straps that I have for it, and I'm really happy with the way that it came out. So that's my take on customizing watches. If it's not for you, I completely respect that. I know some collectors just don't believe in doing custom watches themselves. They believe that that should be left to watchmakers, and if that's your idea, I completely respect and understand that. But this video was more for those who were dancing with the idea, and I wanted to showcase the fact that I'm just a normal collector that was able to do so myself with a little bit of elbow grease, time, and patience. But as always, guys, I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. Comment below if you are going to attempt to do a modification yourself. I'm interested to know. And of course, our slogan, it all started with a watch. No matter where you are in your watch collecting journey, no matter how you decide to collect watches, you guys are all welcome on this channel and in this community. I appreciate you guys for stepping in. If you have a little bit more time and watch customizations interest you, I have a couple of videos of me modding watches on here, so check that out. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one.